If you're new to our channel, we'd love to have you join our little community. Just hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We promise it will be worth your while.
I found it hard to concentrate on my homework. When I finished, I wouldn't be able to change into a pretty dress and play with my dolls. My dresses and dolls were gone. Since I wasn't concentrating on my homework, I wasn't prepared in class, and my grades started to fall from A's to D's. Mom and Dad tried to talk to me to find out what was wrong, but I blew them off. I just knew they wouldn't understand if I told them that I wanted to be a girl. The months churned along, and I found myself becoming sadder and sadder as they did. Nothing seemed to matter anymore. My grades sucked. I didn't touch my PC or the games I got for Christmas. When I watched TV, I couldn't follow any plots. Spring was coming, and so was my 12th birthday. It didn't matter to me, though. Nothing did anymore. I knew I should have been a girl. Somehow, something went wrong, though, and I was stuck as a boy. I couldn't tell anyone my secret, though. Other kids would think that I was some sort of freak, and my parents would probably think they caused it by asking me to pretend to be a girl. I really loved my parents, even though I couldn't tell them that. At least I couldn't as Eddie. I told them that I loved them several times a day when I was Libby, though. I knew that they loved me. They told me so even before I became Libby, but I had a hard time telling them. Knowing that they loved me made it pretty much impossible to tell them what was bothering me. I knew they'd blame themselves, and the last thing I wanted was to hurt them in any way. I'd have to keep my feelings secret no matter what. One Saturday morning, 2 weeks before my birthday, everything blew up. I was sitting in my usual zombie state, watching TV, when Dad asked what I wanted for my birthday. "You've been really down in the dumps. What can Mom and I get for you that would cheer you up?" he asked in a very worried tone. "There must be something that you want more than anything else. Maybe we could get it for you." Something inside me snapped. "I want to be a girl," I shouted at the top of my lungs. Dad's mouth dropped open. Mom's mouth was opening and closing, but no sound was coming out. Mom rushed to my side and threw her arms around me. "You mean you want us to let you dress up like a little girl again?" she asked. "Is that what's bothering you?" I couldn't pretend anymore. I broke down and started crying harder than I've ever cried in my life. "No, that's not exactly what I want," I sobbed. "I want to be a girl, not just dress like one." "Eddie, are you sure you understand what you're saying?" Dad asked as he came over and sat next to me. "Yes, Dad, I understand exactly what I'm saying," I said after a deep breath. "Something got screwed up when I was born. I know that I should have been born as a girl. I'm not supposed to be a boy, and I hate being a boy." "Does this have anything to do with when you were Libby?" Mom asked as she hugged me. "Dad and I didn't mean to upset you in any way." "It's not that, Mom. Really, it isn't," I explained. "I felt this way for so long. I can't remember ever not feeling that something was wrong. I don't fit in with other boys. I'm not like them at all. I hate sports. I'd rather play with a baby doll than a basketball." "You don't have to be an athlete," Mom countered. "Not every boy can be a star basketball player or quarterback. Sports have nothing to do with your sex." "It's not just sports." I shook my head. "It's everything. I can't explain it. I just don't think of myself as a boy. I'd like to have a girl as a friend, not as a girlfriend. If I'm going to be on a basketball court or a football field, I want to be wearing a cheerleader's uniform and cheering for some cute boy." Dad's eyes got huge when I said that I'd like to cheer for a cute boy. "Do you prefer boys to girls?" I shook my head and thought about Eric Montel, one of the guys who lifted me up to shoot a basket in gym. I felt my heart start to beat faster, and a smile formed on my face. Huh, I answered, nodding my head quickly. I noticed that there are a lot of cute guys at school. When did you start to notice that guys were cute? Dad asked calmly, "When you were Libby?" Nah, I started noticing them about 2 years ago. I'd hear a bunch of girls giggling about some cute guy, and I understood exactly what they meant. I smiled as I thought about Eric. Eric Montel is in my classes, and he's such a doll. He's tall, has the most beautiful green eyes, and he lifts me up in gym class when it's my turn to shoot a basket. Do you like it when he does that? Dad didn't seem upset, but he did seem confused. Oh yeah, I grinned. He's so strong, he lifts me way up, and it feels so nice. Dad looked over at Mom, shook his head. I think your mom and I have a lot of questions for you, Eddie, he sighed. This is not going to be easy for any of us. I wish you had told us sooner. I didn't want you guys to think it was your fault. I sniffed. You're really great parents, and I love you so much. We love you too, Dad said as he pulled me close. It felt so good to have him holding me like that. We need to spend some time figuring out how we can help. Would you feel more comfortable talking to us as Libby? Yes, it would help a lot. I nodded. I don't have anything to wear, though. How about wearing one of those nice dresses in the back of your closet? Mom grinned. I'll bet you'll look cute in one of those outfits. Yeah, I haven't worn one of them in a while. I suddenly realized that she knew about my secret stash of clothes. Why don't you two pick out a nice outfit and come back when she's dressed? Dad suggested with a smile. I hugged him so tightly I heard him gasp for air. I love you, Daddy, I whispered. I love you too, Elizabeth, he whispered back as he kissed my cheek. Don't worry, honey. We'll figure this out somehow. I ran to my room as Mommy promised to catch up in a few minutes. I pulled the dress out of its hiding place along with a slip, panties, socks, and shoes. The dress was badly wrinkled, but it was still a dress and not a pair of boys' pants. I had my panties on and was lowering my slip when Mom came in carrying my wig. Where did you get those clothes? I explained about the Goodwill box and how I'd carefully hidden everything so I could wear them whenever no one was home. They're cute outfits, Mommy nodded. I found them not long after you brought them home. Does Daddy know? I told you that we don't have any secrets, Libby. We were concerned about you. We did some research on cross-dressing and decided it wouldn't hurt you, so we left the clothes where they were and arranged some time when you could dress up. All those times when you two had extra shopping to do. All arranged to give you some time to enjoy some harmless fun, or at least we thought it was harmless. She shrugged. What about Libby and Halloween? Was that all arranged too? Daddy and I thought you might enjoy being a girl for Halloween. When we started to talk about it, things sort of snowballed into your being Libby. We didn't see any real harm in it and thought you'd have a good time. I did, Mommy. I had the best time of my life, I told her. Was that what made you want to be a girl? She asked after a little hesitation. No. I told you and Daddy that I knew I should have been a girl a long, long time ago. Spending all of that time as a girl was so nice, and it made me realize that I could never be happy as a boy. Mommy took my dress to iron while I tried to fix my wig. When she came back, I had my wig all brushed out and felt so much better. Mommy unzipped my dress and helped me get it over my wig. When I was all dressed, I skipped back to the living room to talk to Daddy. I carefully smoothed my skirt as I sat across from Daddy and folded my hands in my lap like a good girl. That dress looks very nice on you, Libby. He smiled. Are you ready to answer our questions? Thank you for letting me keep it, Daddy. I answered happily. Ask me anything you want, and I'll try to answer. I don't understand everything, but I know that I'm really a girl. Can you tell us when you first thought you were a girl? Mommy asked. I guess when I was in nursery school, I told her. I saw the other girls and wondered why I wasn't wearing a dress too. I wanted to play dolls with them, but the teacher wouldn't let me. Daddy and Mommy shook their heads at the same time. Your teacher told us about that. Mommy agreed. We didn't think it was such a big deal. A lot of little boys go through a stage like that. When I started first grade, I wanted to sit on the girls' side of the room, but my teacher said I had to sit with the boys. I thought she was being mean because I knew that I was a girl and should be sitting with the girls. Did you ever tell anyone that you were a girl? Daddy asked. When that teacher made me sit with the boys, I told her that I was a girl. All the kids laughed at me and teased me. Why didn't you tell us about it? Mommy asked. We told you never to keep secrets. I know, but I was afraid that you'd laugh at me too. I bit my lip to keep from crying. Whenever I remembered about how much I was teased, I wanted to cry. Everyone at school was laughing at me. We would never laugh at you, Libby, Daddy insisted. Boy or girl, you're still our kid and we love you. Biting my lip didn't help. When Daddy told me that he and Mommy loved me, I broke down and cried like a little baby. Mommy handed me some tissue to cry my eyes. She rubbed my back and asked if I felt like going on. I dried my tears and nodded. Yes, I waited way too long to tell you guys. I want to make sure you understand how I feel. Good girl. Daddy smiled. Now, tell us more about these boys that you think are cute. I smiled and told them all about Eric Montel and Dave Smith and Mike Jones, the 3 cutest guys in the 7th grade. All of the girls think they're so dreamy, I groaned. They tease the other girls and talk to them in the hall between classes. I wish they'd stop and talk to me. That's not going to happen, honey, Mom explained sadly. As far as anyone is concerned, you're a boy and they're not interested in other boys. I know, but I can't help the way I feel whenever I see one of them. They really are so dreamy. I talked to Mommy and Daddy for a couple of hours before they said it was bedtime. They promised to talk to me more tomorrow once they had some time to think. May I take a bubble bath, please? I asked hopefully. I really miss them. Sure, Daddy nodded. While you're in the tub, Mommy will bring out your favorite nightgown and some panties, okay? I jumped up and kissed him. I missed doing that, but it was okay now since I was a girl. I ran a tub full of bubbles, then took off my wig and stepped out of my outfit and into the tub. How could Mommy wonder why I wanted to be a girl when I knew that she took bubble baths too? When I finally got out of the tub, I put on the Little Mermaid nightgown and the pink silky panties Mommy had left for me. It felt so good to wear a nightgown and panties to bed again. I was never going to wear boys' PJs anymore. Mommy was hanging clothes in my closet when I got back to my room. The pretty outfits I had enjoyed wearing were back, and so was all of my pretty lingerie. My blue sheets and pillowcase were gone, replaced by a Cinderella sheet set. Why didn't you get rid of my Libby clothes and stuff, Mommy? I asked. Did you know I wanted to be a girl? No, she laughed. You certainly surprised Daddy and I. We knew you were dressing up and saw how much you enjoyed being Libby, so we put the things away in case you ever asked to use them again. Wow! I couldn't believe it. You mean I could have asked for one of my dresses and you would given it to me? All you had to do was ask. Mommy grinned. It wasn't such a big deal and it made you happy to wear dresses. Becoming a girl is going to be a whole different story though. It's important, Mommy, I pleaded. I'm not kidding. Really, I'm not. And I just know that I shouldn't be a boy. We believe you, honey, she said soothingly. Now get to bed. We have a lot more talking to do tomorrow. I climbed into bed and fell asleep, thinking about what a great Mommy and Daddy that I had and what a lucky girl I was. That night, I dreamed that I was in gym class and we were practicing shooting baskets again. When my turn came, Eric Montel put his arms around my waist and lifted me up. I threw the ball and it went right into the basket. Eric started cheering, and then he turned me around to face him and gave me a kiss. "Good job, Libby," he said as he held me close. Everyone in the gym was clapping and cheering. Eric put me down, and I rushed over to where some of my girlfriends were standing so I could tell them what a great kisser Eric was. They all said that they wished he'd pick them up and give them a kiss, but I just laughed. Eric was my boyfriend. I woke up the next day, wondering if it had all been just a dream. I slowly pulled back the blankets, and there was proof that it wasn't. I was definitely wearing a Little Mermaid nightgown and a pair of panties. My sheets had Cinderella on them, and there were skirts and dresses in my closet and pretty panties in my dresser drawers. I chose a cute pair of pink jeans and a pink and white striped top to wear with a pair of white socks and my pink sneakers. I brushed my hair to make bangs, clipped a white barrette into my hair, and hurried down to have breakfast with my wonderful mommy and daddy. "Good morning, Mommy," I said as I hugged her and kissed her cheek. "Good morning, Daddy," I said as I did the same to him. "You look nice, Libby, but why are you wearing pants?" Daddy asked. "I thought you'd want to wear a really pretty dress." "I don't mind pants, Daddy." I smiled. "These are girls' pants. I don't want to have to wear boys' clothes, that's all." "Unfortunately, you're going to need to wear boys' clothes for a little while yet, at least," Mommy explained. "You can't leave school on Friday as a boy and show up on Monday as a girl." "But I told you, I'm not a boy. Why didn't they understand?" "We heard you, Libby, and we believe you. But unless and until we can get this whole thing straightened out, you'll have to look like a boy," Daddy insisted. "But only for school, sweetheart," Mommy added. "When you're not in school, you can wear pretty dresses anytime you like." "Daddy and I were up very late last night," she continued. "We looked up a lot of things on the internet, and we've decided that you have to talk to a doctor." "How come?" I shrugged. "I'm not sick." "Not that kind of doctor," Daddy broke in. "A doctor who specializes in boys who want to be girls." "Like a shrink?" "Something like that." He shook his head and laughed. "This would be a psychologist who will talk to you and make sure you really understand what you've told us. He'll talk to you and ask a lot of questions and make you take some tests. Then you'll probably have to have some blood tests done to make sure there's nothing physically wrong with you." "Will he turn me into a girl?" I was psyched. I'd do anything to be a girl. "If he thinks it's the right thing to do, he'll recommend that you become a girl." "It won't be easy, Libby," Mommy quickly added. "Even if the doctor thinks you should be a girl, you'll have to take pills and wait for about a year." "I can wait." "You'll have to live completely as a girl during that time," she continued. "You'll have to be able to convince everyone you know that you're a girl. That means teachers, friends, everyone." "No problem. I did it when I was Libby and again at Halloween." "We have one more condition that we'll talk about later," Daddy said. "Mommy and I have to go out for a little while. While we're out, we want you to look at some things on the PEC. They'll give you some information on what you're going to have to go through and what will happen if the doctor agrees that you should become a girl." "Okay," I happily agreed. It'll be kind of neat to find out what was going to happen to me. I mean, I know the doctor couldn't wave a magic wand and make a girl out of me, but I really didn't know anything else. Except that I absolutely, positively, totally should be a girl. Mommy and Daddy were gone for a couple of hours. I read all the stuff they bookmarked, and it was unreal. First, I'd have to take a bunch of tests to make sure that I wasn't nuts, then more tests to see if I really thought of myself as a girl. I'd take their silly tests, but I wasn't going to change my mind. What really made me pay attention was what would happen to me once I passed all the tests. I'd have to get shots and take pills which would stop me from having a male puberty. I wouldn't grow any hair on my face, my muscles wouldn't get big, my voice wouldn't get deep, and my little friend would stay little, because I wouldn't be changing into a young man. My body would take all of the fat cells that would accumulate and move them to my hips, butt, and chest, making me look more like a girl.